Welcome to Weekly Digest, where we highlight the works of ministers of government as they push the administration's development agenda. The Ministry of Health is looking to train more nurses and other healthcare professionals as it seeks to drastically improve the healthcare system in Guyana. Minister Dr. Frank Anthony, while speaking recently at a sub-turning for a new $6.6 billion hospital in Region 5, noted that persons need to be trained from the region to adequately staff the facility when it is completed.
So there's no barrier to education. If you want to become a nurse and you have the aptitude, you have a couple of subjects, we will work with you to bring you into the system. Region 5 need quite a lot of nurses. And we want you to come on board, identify those young persons who are interested, and we will train them. And when we finish training you and you pass the exam, we have a job for you.
Prime Minister Brigadier Retired Mark Phillips says collective actions must be taken in order to achieve Guyana's Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs. The Prime Minister made the remarks while presenting at the second voluntary national review of the SDGs to the United Nations High-Level Political Forum at the Arthur Chung Conference Center.
Achieving the goals will require the participation and collaboration of all sectors of society. We must consider effective ways that we as a government, in partnership with the private sector and civil society, individuals and institutions, can work towards achieving the SDGs.
Agriculture Minister Zulfikar Mustafa led a team of ministers on a follow-up visit to Region 5 to address residents' issues. He was accompanied by Minister of Local Government and Regional Development Nigel Dharamlal and Minister of Public Service Sonia Parag. Issues such as the need for farming tools, clearing and ownership of land for farmers, and cleaning of canals were all raised and addressed.
So I asked MMA to work with you all to get the land. Ownership.
Rangers within the NDC to visit where roads got to fix, drains got to clean, bridges got to be built.
This year, 16,268 pupils wrote the National Grade 6 Assessment, NGSA, over 2 days at 517 centers countrywide. NGSA is an examination that determines which secondary school children will attend based on their performance.
So across Guyana, I want to say good luck to all our students. You are ready for this assessment. We have done everything we could possibly humanly do to make you ready. We give each student all the textbooks they need. That's not something that usually happens across the country in the public schools. All of these children you see here were offered breakfast this morning. That's a first in Guyana. All of the children you see here were given materials, pencil, ruler, eraser, sharpener, all the materials they need for common entrance, and that's across the country.
174 more Guyanese from regions 5 and 6 are now ready to start building their homes, having received steel and cement subsidy vouchers. So far, over 600 residents of Region 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9, and 10 have received steel and cement subsidies.
When the program was conceptualized, it was basically recognizing that we have a number of communities or new areas being developed, and we want to encourage construction. So you drive through, you see some empty lots. Then you have a number of persons who are coming on stream, new allottees. We want to encourage home ownership, construction.
Meanwhile, 30 persons participated in a house lot identification exercise at Phase 3 Fort Ordnance, Fort Lands Region 6 on Wednesday last. This is another step closer for them to start building their dream homes. 180 persons have been allocated house lots in that housing scheme.
Work will continue here in Region 6 for us to identify new lands, for us to be able to make available more opportunities for allocations. But we will, in another month, we'll start preparing the area. We will start in another month or month and a half, another 50 houses in the Hampshire area, for construction of houses, that is, in the Hampshire area. But we'll be doing a model, not the current model, we'll be upping this type of design And so the other one will be more like the middle income.
Thousands of residents from various communities in Region 5 are set to benefit from an improved level of water service as several water treatment plants will be upgraded soon.
We know the quality of the water on the coastline. We know this. We know the iron content in the water, and Region 5 is no exception. But the way to address it is injection of resources. That is for treatment plants, and your government is doing such.
Residents of Aichuni will soon get land titles as government has begun a process of regularizing several households there. This is being done to address long-standing land issues in the community.
I've given that planner 1 week to finish the plan, because I want in 1 month time for us to be able to go back to Aichuni to start having persons sign up to process the ownership for those who don't have ownership their titles.
The Ministry of Local Government and Regional Development collaborated with the City Council in a cleanup exercise along Regent Street to make it a more sanitary environment for commuters and vendors.
This is going to be a continuous exercise to upgrade and enhance the quality of life, well, in this case, the quality of business in Georgetown. And I'd like to encourage everyone that uses Regent Street, everyone that traverses anywhere in Georgetown, to continue to keep the place clean, and those vendors who are plying their trade on the streets, for them to make sure that their environment, the areas where they work, where they conduct their businesses, that those areas remain in a pristine condition.
The Ministry of Labor's National Advisory Council on Occupational Safety and Health hosted an awards ceremony where several persons and organizations were recognized for their efforts in promoting safe and healthy workplaces.
We are thankful that many companies are responding, and many Guyanese are responding to the need to adopt a safety culture. And I think that is what this is about. I have said early when I was given this job that as Guyanese we have two options. Either we pay attention to safety and health, or we prepare to go play cards and dominoes at wake houses and bury people the next day. Those are the two options we had before us. The fact that all of us are working towards a positive outcome, I can report to you that we are making some progress. Much more needs to be done, but the analysis of the numbers over the period has informed us that we are making some progress.
The minister is encouraging persons to take advantage of the opportunities being presented by the government. He is also urging persons to sharpen their skills and meet the demands of the labor force.
They have more employment than people that need to be employed in Guyana. I can tell you, the minister. They have more employment. You go, y'all take a walk in all the areas where we're doing construction, housing, all those areas we're doing the infrastructure work. And you will see that the contractors, they're saying, listen, we cannot find skilled personnel.
Ghana has set the stage for countries from around the world to take example from its transformational and inclusive policies regarding the rights of Indigenous people. This was exemplified at the 22nd session of the United Nations Permanent Forum on Indigenous Peoples Issues held at the United Nations headquarters in New York from April 17 to 28.
Guyana was among the very first that produced a legislation for protection and for the Amerindian rights or Indigenous peoples' rights. We're the first to also have a commission, a rights commission that the Indigenous people can go to for redress if they feel they are discriminated against, and that's the Ethnic Relation, including the Indigenous Peoples Commission.
Minister of Human Services and Social Security Dr. Vindya Prasad, Minister within the Ministry of Housing and Water Susan Rodrigues, along with the Indian High Commissioner to Guyana Dr. K.J. Srinivasa, all attended a cultural ceremony to commemorate the 185th anniversary of Indian arrival to Guyana. This brings us to the end of this edition of Weekly Digest. For these and other government-related information, do log on to our website dpi.gov.gy and our social media platforms.